I remember my dad coming home the one day, he won a poker game, and he came home with this Mercedes-Benz with a double petrol tank. We had to switch over from the one tank to the other one, this one, and it was the most amazing car to me. I learned to drive in that car when I was like 15 years old. And one day I said, I'll know exactly how a car works. So I'm gonna learn to fly a helicopter.
What?
So I really did. So I went through all the tests just to learn how these parts work and how engines work. So that I can know my cars better. Honestly, in South Africa, on the different kind of roads you get, and the different kind of roads I travel, I've got to be a practical guy. So I've driven X6s. I've had a few X6s. I had 2 X6s at one time once because I just loved them so much. I even bought a X7. It's like a Cadillac kind of BMW. And I'll never forget that car because I thought this is my dream car. All I remember is driving out of the dealer with this fat ribbon on the bonnet. And I drove out and it's about 10 kilometers to my house. And every bump I hit in the road, every tiniest little bump, it was just this jarring, like you're driving in an old Beetle. My brother used to have one, so I know that bump that you feel every bone in your body. And I was like, is this really like the flagship? And they'd forgotten the transport blocks in the shocks of this car. And I gave it back and I bought a 650 because I just, you know, when you're just like, I don't want to drive that car again kind of thing. Probably about 5-6 years ago, this company out of the blue, they mailed me. And they said, listen, we want you on this and this date to navigate in the South African Rally Championship because we know you love cars. I said, no, I love cars. I've just never done a rally before, not like to that extent. This is a different kettle of fish. But with that car, it took me on what they call in Afrikaans a roofierit, which means you're getting into something for the first time, you don't know what to expect. So with the rally, he took me on a roofierit, and I said, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He's won this thing before. His name's Terence Marsh. And we ended up coming third. So I got a podium position, sprayed champagne over me leaving. First time in history they say that a apprentice navigator got a podium finish on a rally like that. So it was amazing.
That's amazing.
My dad was a plumber in Centurion, so he had this work bakkie. It was this white, proper workhorse bakkie full of tools and everything. And bless his soul, he's not with us anymore, but I used to steal his bakkie and go fishing at the quarry in Pierre van Rooyenveld. Because I was a bit of a loslappie back then. I decided to pick up 2 girlfriends. My brother and I, we were dating twins.
Okay.
And we decided to pick them up. And we thought we were going to have the Mercedes, but my dad had gone away for the weekend and we were stuck with the work bakkie. And they had to sit in the back with the tools. And it wasn't the greatest experience. We tried to treat them very well after that, but we never saw them again.
And rightly so.
And rightly so. I was that typical guy where the family's like, yes, we love your voice and we love what you're doing and everything, but you gotta kind of do something that's gonna earn you money as well. And I said, no, 100%. And I got this job selling AMC cookware. I managed a Wimpy for a while, stuff like that. And with that money, I bought my first car. And it was this tiny little 316 BMW, white BMW. And in the middle of all of this, I started gigging all over the country. In my 316i, I had these 2 little Eon speakers, an amp, everything. So I knew how sound worked. I mixed my own sound, activated everything myself, packed everything out. I used to pack it all in the back of my BMW and travel to South Africa. And I drove through Namibia like that. I drove through Cape Town like that. So my little 316i BMW is my fondest memory of a car back then. And it never ever let me down. It never ever let me down. And believe it or not, my first shows then, apart from the usual pub shows I used to do here, whatever, I used to sing at like Joshua Door, Lewis, Russell's.
Wait, what?
They used to have evenings, like wine evenings, and I would stand there next to the lounge suite of the night. Just for tonight, this lounge suite's 24,999 rand, 24 months to pay, all that kind of stuff. And then burst out into song. Yeah, it was that kind of thing. When I say we tour a lot, I really mean we tour a lot. But 15 years ago, 20 years ago, let's say the early 2000s, I've still got it, in fact. I've got a tour bus. So my name used to be on my tour bus, not anymore. I learned very quickly. So the one day we're driving in Hermanus and we're staying at a guest house. Here's the guest house. Here's like a main road, a whole lot of houses, but here's our guest house, here's the main road. Here's rocks, quite a long way leading down into the ocean. And we came back from a show and we parked and I felt the van parking. And as I did that, you know when you just hear tires coming from, and I opened my door like a sliding door, and I opened my door and I looked left, and there's a police van. And Graham says, Kurt, they've been chasing us. And I said, for what? He says, no, they've been chasing us. And this guy comes, he pulls in next to the van, and he jumps out. He forgets his car in gear. He gets out, and he runs towards me, and that car of his, the police van, I've still got the number plate of the police van. That's illegal, right?
No, it's not.
This car just carried on, hit over the rocks, went over the rocks, and nose into the sea. This police van. And the guy was like, I said, what maak jy? And he said, no, I just want your signature for my wife. She will never believe it because my name was on the van. Then I took my name off the van. All the other cops are there. I tried to stand up for this guy and everything. And it didn't help him much, but I've still got that number plate to this day.
Kaptein, ek wens jy wil, ek gaan my droom verloor. Kaptein, span die seile, Kaptein, sy is myne.
I think cars have just become so intertwined in our lives and getting there, and it's still dark in the morning, not because the sun isn't up, it's because there's load shedding kind of thing. And you've been dressing in the dark. Whatever culture you're in, whatever car you drive, just safe travels, you know.
I've been at the top, I stood there before and I stand there again.
So the difference between me driving and spinning is when I'm spinning, I'm a mad woman. Like now, I'm shy and I'm like soft-spoken, but when I get into the car, you just see a different person.
Being the best, I'm striving for wins, yes. I'm fighting whoever, proving I'm better, the best you can get. Battling and overcoming.
You'll see just now, like now I'm quiet and I'm shy and I like speak so soft, but when I get into that car, then there's trouble.
Dream, search, drive. Cars.co.za